Hi, my name is Alfonso Boyko. I am the CEO of the Twitter account The Quantum Universe and the blogger for the news side of the Founders National Party, a very conservative party that wants to base its formation in the wisdom of the Native American and the founders of independence, the ones that wrote our independence rights. For both are necessary for this country to become the great nation that was. But today I come to talk about the Bundy case. Right now the trial is going in Nevada. Mr. Bundy, who has a farm in Bunkerville, Nevada, has went to arms for the reason of refusing to pay grazing fees for using public land in the state of Nevada. And this case started in the year around 1996. Was the year after Mr. Clinton became president of the United States. The rumor is in the paranormal that Mr. Clinton didn't like a commentary done by Mr. Bundy in one of his rallies, political rallies. Hey, candidates have to be able to handle the heat and ignore what it is said that opposes, because their own opinion, if it merits. Anyway, what I question is the following. Prior to Mr. Clinton's presidency, the only thing that the Bureau of Land Management had to do, and the cattlemen, ranchers of the area had to do, was to report how many cattle they have and the area where they feed, because the agreement was to protect the land and the resources of Nevada from transit cattle herds. That was the reason why they had to report themselves and receive this permit for the cattle to graze. When Clinton took up, he decided to ask for fees. Fees for the cattle to graze in a public land. Public. Public. What public means? Public means that is accessible to anybody that is citizen of this country, that is paying taxes, and sometimes that is not. But in this case, with the grazing laws, it was to the taxpayers of the region, and it was available. Asking for fees is double dipping and is illegal. Now, if you want to preserve the land or the butte, golden butte, as it is called, a mountain that is 1,000 miles from the bunker building. You use the money that you are being paid for taxes to work the land. Now, I just wonder, I bet they have collected fees from other cattlemen. And if so, I want to see the books, how you employ those fees on the land and not in legal pursuits or private vendettas or political nature. Farmers feed America. Therefore, there should be no grazing fee, for they pay the taxes. Plus, Mr. Bundy doesn't rely on subsidies. When he saw he owed $1 million in fees accumulated because he refused to pay for the land that had been in use of his family for the past 20 years until someone decided with a pen, oh, ask for a fee and see how he's gonna fare now. Hmm? Let's see. Is that how you protect the agricultural sector of this country, Clinton? It is that how you feed America? It is that how you keep the prices down for beef and milk? Well. When he saw that they were going to remove the cows by the Fed, he saw his livelihood gone. Because what are you going to do with the cows? You were going to auction it. And that auction would pay only half of the debt and leave the man without livelihood and the sector that he is serving with higher costs for beef and milking. So, what the citizens do when they say this blatant infringement against the usage of public land and the right to own property in America being violated by some pompous democratic government. You arrested the man, and okay, you can arrest the man for a week or so, but you arrested him for months, for years, without granting him a civil right to an speedy trial. That is another violation of justice. What about what the Constitution said that one is, or the law says that one is innocent until proven guilty? Why are you arresting a farmer for a long time in detriment of his business and his family livelihood and the market that he provides? And let's say that law infringement, it is not only under the Clinton administration, but it has been tracked along to all Democrats. When the Obama decided to imprison the son that wanted to release the father. And not only that, but crowned the cake by declaring the Golden Butte National Protected Land, which was miles away from the river where the farmers are. But this also affects the Native Americans of the area. I heard that they say that Mr. Cliven didn't treat them right because what? he didn't let them pick their, um, it was cantaloupe, something like that, some that they planted in his land without permission or without renting it. And that is detrimental for the farmer because then the cows cannot graze there. It's gonna damage their crop. So when he say no, it's no. Hmm? But other than that, I know what he should have done is to talk to the Native Americans and say, you want to use the land? Feel free to do so, but pay a fee. And if it is not worth it, because it's a small area, I myself, depending how much they are planting, I will say, okay, go ahead, but be careful. The cows are going to eat it, and I cannot guarantee you anything, and you got to be careful with the cows hurting you. I don't want that responsibility because I let my cows loose, and they're going to be attracted by the fruit, and accidents can happen. So no, you cannot do that in a cattle ranch. Anyway, then we have that the family, the Bundy family, has to get the help of the neighbors to keep the farm going. The neighbors have their own farms, but the father and son were in jail. Who's going to work the land? Now, also, we have that they say that the cows uh, are detrimental to the animals of the area. And I say, why cows cannot convive with the desert turtle? This is not an endangered species. And the desert turtle, where they live, there is not too much grass for the cows to eat because they were close to the body. But they extended the body up to the river, and that was a transgression, evident transgression against the Bundys. Now, we must say, and this is the core of the problem, Mr. Bundy has the right to bear arms in front of an injustice. The Second Amendment guarantees this right. They say that they are a group of terrorists and whatever. No, they were neighbors fighting for the same right of feeding their animals in public land that they are tax paying and helping a neighbor who put his foot down against federal injustice or governmental injustice, better say. The Second Amendment provides that right to U.S. citizens, and it was ratified in December 1791. And it says a well-regulated militia. Well, this wasn't a well-regulated militia, it's just a group of citizens that got together and said, you cannot remove the cows, please. You cannot remove the cows from the land. Get out. Because you are led this man to bankruptcy. The right. So, this Second Amendment says sometimes it's necessary for the security of a free state. And they are in a free state, my darlings, and you're gonna take from them their livelihood, their property, something that hasn't been done since the time of the annexation of Texas as State of the Union, when you purchase the land from Mexico. And the landowners, wealthy landowners that were left and that didn't mind to be citizens of that state, Mexican citizens, of course, since they took the land from Mexico, were driven out by the Texas Rangers. Since that time, this transgression wasn't done, just for grazing cows. Hmm? So, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You cannot infringe that right. And sometimes we had to defend our homes, and sometimes we had to defend our livelihood, especially when we are being driven to a corrupt government. That is why we need to go back to the forefathers of this land, to the thinking of the Native Americans, and to the Christian thinking of those that came in Mayflower. The Judeo-Christian tradition of law is sound and is based on one single statement: love God, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's simple, because love is respect. You respect God, you respect your neighbor, and you respect yourself. That's all that it takes. You will hear more about it. You will hear more about this little idea of a party that I cannot put up on the net, because every time that I tried to make my website, my computer goes down, or for whatever reason they send me the last one was they send me to check and validate my domain to a different email account. And say, how this happens? Powers have been. When Hillary Clinton was launching herself as a candidate, I was against it. I wrote an article that I sent to the International Crime Court about the media not delivering the message to Garcia. Who is Garcia? Us, the citizenship. What kind of message? Truthfulness in the character of a candidacy. When I can find in the internet, trying to find who is the right candidate to choose, I find Arkansas, 44 crimes in Little Rock when he was around there. I find a video that's saying of his past, and I know that he acknowledged taking drugs. And from it, he invited many budding, influential people from Arkansas, from Little Rock. And when there is drugs in the party, you have a possibility of blackmail. But if he say that he did it when he was young, I will say to him, yeah, so I did with you. That is the way that I will say it, and I said, you don't blackmail me. But we don't know why he controls so many judges, and so far so forth. I know that with Puerto Rico was the same thing. There is no reason for that island to have a $70 billion debt. You go to Puerto Rico and there is not a shadow of that money. When 40% plus of the population is starving, poverty, unemployment, and I said, all these years, who managed that money? Those that Clinton mockingly free from jail that they didn't have after pocketing the $2.4 billion that was granted to Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands due to Hurricane George devastation. Check it, it's in history. And the people never received the money. But those that were incarcerated and set free for a coup that never showed in history until Clinton talked about it, are the ones that are ruling Puerto Rico since then. And I wonder, darlings, where is the money? I cannot go to Puerto Rico. If I go, I will leave. Because I just wonder about Arkansas. I just wonder about many things. I wonder if the misuse of law by Mrs. Clinton when she was Rohan before marrying her husband. She went into to defend uh, a guy that was a rapist, 40-year-old guy, of a child that was 12. And who she put on trial? The little girl. She retained evidence. She denied jury trial. And she didn't submit the psychiatric report, but paraphrased it, saying that he said that the child was daydreaming with the man sex. Well, to tell you something, I don't care what a child dreams. When she was left unable to bear children, when her reputation and her testimony was tilted as a lie by a woman that doubled her age and supposed to be protecting children instead of vagabond rapists like her husband. There you go. This is all for tonight. Thank you very much.